Today I'm talking to my dad and retired physicist Wendell Watkins. He's been living a high raw lifestyle for the past 6 months. I'm very proud of the changes he's made, and I want to share his experience with you. We'll talk about the benefits and challenges he's experienced while incorporating raw foods into his daily life. We'll also talk about his weight loss and address the main reason he decided to adopt a healthier lifestyle. So without further ado, let's hear his story. Hi everyone, welcome to The Raw Edge. I'm High Raw Nick, and this is my dad, Wendell. Say hi.
Hi, Wendell Watkins, and this is my son.
And today, we're going to talk about my dad's personal experience integrating more raw foods into his diet. We'll get into some of the health reasons that prompted him to make these changes in his diet. On this channel, we talk about how to integrate raw foods into your diet so that you can get the benefit of raw, living plant foods and see if it's worth incorporating into your current lifestyle. To start off, I guess we'd like to know a little bit about what your diet and lifestyle were like 6 months ago. 6 months ago is when you decided to start integrating some raw foods into your diet.
6 months ago, I developed a problem. Michigan's a nice place, but I don't live in Michigan anymore. I live in El Paso, Texas, and it's the Sun City, and that's been some of the problems I've ran into. I spent a lot of time outside and played tennis, gardened, took care of the pets, so I was an active person. It caught up to me because I developed skin cancer.
While a raw food lifestyle is a great way to improve overall health and immunity, it is not a cure for disease. If you have a medical condition or have medical concerns, I would strongly recommend getting in contact with a licensed healthcare professional. My dad has been in contact with his doctor through this experience and has had professional treatment to help with his condition. That being said, let's continue.
What happened was I grew up with lots of fruits and vegetables in my diet, but I also ate a lot of meat and other things like donuts and pizza, etc. That didn't do well, especially in the type of environment that I wound up in. I was active, but I wound up doing a lot of work in an office on a computer. That does not lend itself well to keeping your body in the best condition. And it also resulted in me eating a lot of foods, fast foods. You eat them and you pay the price. Yeah. When I grew up, I was around 150 pounds. When I left work, after I couldn't really adapt to the stress environment anymore, I was over 200. I've done things since then, because I've been retired for several years, to bring my weight down. But it's one of those roller coaster type things. You can bring it down, but then it goes back up. With the problem that I ran into with skin cancer, I knew that I had to do something quite a bit different. I noticed on my skin, there were a lot of areas that became dried out, crusty, and were sites where the squamous cell carcinoma wound up adopting one of them. It was on my arm.
If you're interested in my dad's skin cancer progression, stick through to the end of this video for a short testimonial and my dad's surgery photos.
I was very pleased with the way it worked, not just with the cancer location, but the problem here is I'm susceptible in a lot of different areas, and I've gotten sun all over my body. So you can't just address one individual spot. It was in a position where it was growing so fast that I really had it removed to stop it. But after that, what has happened over the last 6 months is very encouraging. Instead of just a few spots that are now rough, there were many, and they've lessened, and my skin quality in terms of softness has improved dramatically. What I adopted, and in this case, fortunately, I used to eat a lot of vegetables and fruits on my own. And so the switch over to a raw food diet is not that difficult. It does have a lot of changes that will occur, and it does take a lot more time to be able to get the foods in the times when you need them. It's not something that's as convenient as going down and getting something from a fast food place.
Because you're responsible for the meals that you eat. You have to make the food because you can't really count on other people to be able to make this kind of food for you. It's a very specific diet, but it's also a very special one.
Yes. For me, it was fairly easy to adopt. I know that some people may have a problem with some of the flavors that the foods have that are best for you, but it's something that you become accustomed to, and it's not that difficult to actually use, because there's a lot of things that you'll have that are very flavorful, and they're really easy to eat and digest. When you first start, however, it is a big change to your body, and it's more of a liquid type diet because most of the stuff is, the nutrients are squeezed out of the fruit, so you don't have to eat the bulk. If you try to eat that,
Also it's a convenience thing too. I mean, you could sit all day in front of a table and eat a bunch of fruits and vegetables just unprocessed, but I mean, we live in a modern world and we need time to do other things in our day. So making the smoothies and the juices is a way to add that convenience back to the diet and be able to consume the foods in a reasonable amount of time.
I've enjoyed eating the kelp in the morning. It gives you the protein that you need.
The SP2 algae. I'll also link that in the description below. So yeah, check that out below, the affiliate link. No extra charge to you. It's a really great product and I do fully advocate it.
The algae is the first thing you eat. Next, you have a smoothie for breakfast if you're really hungry, or you can go ahead and have a vegetable juice, which has a lot of the nutrients that your body really needs.
Yeah, that's very powerful, the green juice.
It's convenient to be close to a store that you can get the fresh fruits and vegetables. Otherwise, it's a little bit more difficult. It takes a little bit more time, but I think the benefits are way outnumber the inconvenience that you might experience. The time that it takes for your body to adjust, it takes a couple of months. And initially, you're going to find out that the juices that you drink aren't the same as the pizza that stays in your stomach. It tends to go through your system a little bit faster.
They're fast digesting foods. They're not as heavy as fast foods that could fill you up for a long time because they just take a long time to digest.
So I would suggest that you adopt your schedule such that you can access the restroom at a more frequent time frame.
It's a very hydrating diet.
It does go through you quickly. As you progress, however, you get your body adjust to it, and it's not as much of a problem. Now, what can occur, I was like 205 pounds when I started.
I have some pictures we took. We did a raw challenge around Christmas time. I think it was last year, and that was when you weighed about 205 pounds. We also have some pictures that we took just a few days ago. How much did you weigh in those pictures?
I'm under 165.
Under 165. That's pretty impressive.
What I did notice, because I usually go overboard on certain things, and in this case it was very important to me, so I stuck to the diet rigorously. And what you find out, if you lose weight, you need to make sure that you don't lose your muscle.
Exercise.
It's extremely important.
It's very important. So I guess the next thing that I would like to talk about is, have you noticed any changes in your energy level and your general digestion as you've changed your diet? And have you experienced any challenges?
grew up with, I guess, a cast iron stomach, so I don't have too much trouble digesting, whatever it is that's put in front of me. But I do notice that initially your body does not adapt as well as you would like to. I mean, you become a little bit more of a racetrack in terms of how things are digested. After maybe a month or two, then it becomes more natural. And I think that is good because you are able to control your activities a lot better. There are some drawbacks in terms of time frame. My schedule is not always adaptable to being able to have a fixed time where I can have the foods and have the time to be able to do that. So you work around those, and I think it's a little bit different, but it's something that can be done. In terms of if you get hungry or something, I mean, you have to make sure that you have available something that you can snack on, whether it's nuts or fruit or whatever it is. And if you don't, then it does become a problem. I mean, you can get very hungry, and your ability to stick to the diet will decrease unless you plan ahead.
Yeah, it requires planning. It requires planning. For example, like some of these little energy bars, I make these out of nuts and dried fruit. And it's a good thing to be able to take with me when I'm on the go. So in case I am somewhere where I don't have access to produce, I have something that I can eat that helps me stay on track with the diet. Also taking smoothies with you when you leave the house. I know you do that sometimes.
Yes.
We both have insulated containers that we take with us if we're going to a restaurant or going on an errand. You don't know how long you're going to be out, so it's good to be able to take a meal with you that's just ready for you to have when you get hungry, because it's really important to eat when you're hungry on this lifestyle, since the food is so fast digesting.
Yes. I don't notice that it's something that's not doable. I mean, it is something that takes a little bit more effort.
It's just a question of whether it's valuable to you.
Yes.
And whether you're willing to put in the effort, and after a while it just becomes habit.
What happens on some occasions is that you get put in a position where you don't have the food that you need. And if you go to a restaurant or something, there are options to what you could eat from the menu. And that's, you look and pick and choose something that is reasonable to as a fill in at that time. That's fine. It happens, but you then revert back to sticking with what you are doing, making sure, however, you have the time to go to the store. That can be a problem. I mean, sometimes, especially in the environment where Nick lives, and I remember living there, you get snowed in. So if you haven't planned ahead, you're going to be out of food. And so, it's something, yes, you have to do more scheduling and planning, but it is doable.
Another thing that I think people would be interested in are what are your go-to raw meals now, and do you enjoy them?
What we have here that is really good. We're right on the border with Mexico, so we get nice avocados that come in. There's mangoes and papaya. There are some places where you can have, you can get a salad bar at a restaurant and just get the salad. So, all kinds of different fruits and vegetables, whatever your taste buds want. And in my case, I can eat just about anything.
So what's your favorite juice to have?
My favorite juice is blueberries. I like blueberries. So I have those with the bananas, and I'll throw a few nuts in there too.
I don't know exactly about the nuts. That's not something that I do, but if you want to, some people add chia seeds into the smoothies. It's good to get extra omega-3 easily in liquid form. I mean, what does your morning routine look like on a day when you want to save time in the kitchen?
Well, we watch our grandsons. It used to be it was right around 8 o'clock. Now we have a little bit of reprieve because they both go to school. So they don't come here until after, around noon. But we usually wake up early because my wife is very active and she dances in our home studio.
Yeah, she's a professional flamenco dancer. Yeah, check out her website. I'll also link that in the bottom as well.
So yeah, we start our day early. When I get up, I usually let her get started, and then probably towards 7 or 8, I can go in and make my algae. And I usually, if the time looks right, I will have the vegetable juice, which I typically have either carrots or greens with the kale and parsley, cucumbers, cabbage. And I add things to it. I mean, I like to have it with maybe not as much bitterness, because you typically want to put ginger in your foods, and that for some people is a little bit harder to palate. But I'm not as restricted by that. So in the greens, I will actually put jalapeno peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes. Jalapeno and habanero and garlic too, if you want a savory kind of juice.
Yes.
But it's really worth it for the sinus cleansing, and also it's really good anti-inflammatory to put in those strong roots.
You can change the flavor of it by, if it's a little bit too strong, I'll put some oranges in, or pineapple. Whatever you want to do, you can make it sweeter. Mm-hmm. And
although I would suggest to focus more on the vegetables as much as you
yes.
can. The fruit is just a way to make the juice palatable to you, but it's really the benefit of getting that concentrated vegetable nutrition in with the juices.
Yes, and it's flavorful. So I mean, once you get accustomed to the taste of whatever you've decided to use, it's easy to drink a large amount. You'd be surprised how much you can actually consume. You may have to stretch it over an hour or whatever it is that it takes, but typically I don't have that problem. I can drink most of it in 10 minutes.
I give him a juice that's like, I don't know, maybe it was 50 ounces. I set it on his desk, and then I went to go rinse out the parts of the juicer or whatever, and I came back. He comes back instantly with an empty jug. He just guzzles it all down. I mean, good for him.
Well, I mean, you can get used to whatever the scheduling is.
If you have a sweet juice, though, I would suggest drinking it a little bit slower, since you don't have that fiber attached to the fruit sugars. Take it a little bit slower to regulate that. But if it's vegetable juice, yeah, if you can drink it quickly, it'll be fresher, and it'll be better that way.
Yep. So, that's... Well, you change it however your taste buds wish to have it. I mean, it's just something that can be changed to your particular needs and style in terms of flavors. Mm-hmm. So it's flexible, and it's something you can become accustomed to doing on a regular basis. And once you've got it in your routine, it's easy to maintain.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any other advice or tips that you would give to someone who is maybe has some sort of a health problem and wants to try to manage it with a healthy lifestyle?
It's good to find someone who has knowledge in the area if you have a certain problem, because it's not easy to figure out what your diet should be. I mean, you can get benefit no matter what, but if it's something specific, then yes, you need to tailor it to, maybe you need some extra vitamins to go in. I put a vitamin B supplement to mine. It also has a vitamin D, because in this case, I live in a place where it's a sun city, but I can't go out in the sun. So I need something that adds the vitamins that I'm not going to get just from living in a certain location, but the ones that my body needs. And it's not necessarily, you can eat a variety of fruits and vegetables, but you may need a certain nutrient or vitamin that is specific to what your problem is. I do notice that the benefit of this is that the weight that I've lost is out, it's gone. And I don't have the same roller coaster effect that you would have if you're taking out and just reducing the amount of calories you are, or trying to burn it off with exercise. It has to be something that you can maintain, and this is something that can be maintained.
All right, well, so that's a little bit of a window into my dad's experience with managing his condition. Hopefully it can give some of you out there some inspiration if you feel like you're in a situation where you don't have control over your health, give you a little bit of a window in to see that there are options out there, that there are steps that you can take to be able to take control of your health. These are the best foods to do that with: fresh produce, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, lots of seeds, a little bit of nuts, a little bit of avocado, and also making sure that you get those supplementations to make sure that you are meeting your minimum requirements for your nutrition, because that's important no matter what diet you're on. The difference with this one is that these foods are regenerative. They're not just going to meet your baseline minimum standard requirements for the day. They're going to go above and beyond. They're going to give you that extra hydration, give you that extra fiber, give you that extra nutrition to be able to activate your body's natural healing ability. So if you're interested more in how to improve your current health, how to reach a healthy weight, for some that might be gaining weight, for some that might be losing weight, it's just more focus on health than on image. So I think that's really important. That's why I brought my dad on here to share his experience, because he was extremely motivated for health. And I think that's something that's very important. Motivation, if you want to try a raw lifestyle. I wouldn't look at it as a diet. I wouldn't look at it as a quick way to lose weight. I would look at it as a way to reach a healthy balance in your life. And that's very important to me. That's why I have this channel. And if you're interested more in how to reach your personal best, subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when new content is uploaded. And check out some of the other videos. There's a wealth of knowledge here, and I'm just wanting to share it with all of you so that you can see the same benefits that we have seen. Thank you for stopping in on The Raw Edge, and I will see you next time. Hi, Raw Nick signing out, and
Wendell Watkins.
Thank you.
Bye.
On the left side is when I wound up getting squamous cell carcinoma, and that was the result of about 3 to 4 weeks of growth. Now, at that time, I was probably over 200 pounds, and the condition of my skin was not good. I had not just that one, but I had many places on my arms especially where there were potential sites for cancer. A week later is when they shaved off the center portion of that cancer. That was the first time, but I was trying to change my diet to a much more raw food diet. The growth of the cancer, even switching, did not slow down. By the time I was able to get in for surgery on that, which was about 2.5 weeks later, it had grown at least twice in the diameter of that. What's shown there on the center, the skin was actually removed, and they removed, I guess it was almost 3.5 inches in diameter, and they sewed it back down to where it was maybe a little over an inch. The diet that I stayed on seemed to help significantly in the healing process. And after I've had the diet for like a half a year, the wound is completely healed. There's still a little center portion of scar tissue, but the outside edge has really repaired itself. The final result is that I now have an arm that's got a lot of muscle in it rather than the fat, and the skin quality has really improved. So it's an amazing transformation from the one on the left to the one on the right. And raw food diet really has aided that healing process quite a bit.